This house has stood on this quiet French street for well over 2 centuries, a 1750s townhouse full of charm, history and timeless details. I was immediately drawn in by its character, its thick stone walls, fireplaces, stained glass panels, oak floors, decorative tiles and beams. It had been in the same family for over 40 years. The grandparents had lived here for decades, but after they passed, the family could no longer maintain it. It sat empty and on the market for 5 years. This much-loved house wasn't abandoned, but it was rejected by many buyers because it simply needed too much work. It would be a huge renovation project, but it was also a really special house, and I knew right away I wanted to be the one to preserve it all and bring it back to life by giving it a new purpose. The house has an unusual layout over 3 floors. It was originally a merchant's house, so the main lateral living space was built raised up on arched cellars that were used to store food and wine. Next to the cellars were a couple of abandoned rooms, and on the upper floors 2 really grotty studio apartments with a massive attic space above. The hidden gem was the private and sunny walled garden, along with spacious garages, all of it just aching to be transformed. It wasn't a ruin, but this big old house was going to need a lot of time and money to create a comfortable home. So the plan became this. We'd turn the first floor into our living space, a spacious apartment where we could live full-time. And on the top and lower floors, we'd create 3 self-contained Airbnb rentals. Each space would highlight the character of the house, with original features being preserved and modern comforts added throughout. So we embarked on this marathon transformation journey, and I'm going to share the results with you now. But stay with me till the end, because there's some big news that's going to change everything. First of all, the oak floors were sanded and renovated. Then we moved in with just a mattress and camped in our part of the house, which was dated but still livable. The first part of transformation started in the garden. Outdoor spaces are often left until last when the budget has run out, but the garden had really won my heart, so it was a top priority. It was full of plants and flowers, but very disorganised and overgrown. There was a lean-to roof structure that cut the garden in 2, and thankfully a local roofer agreed to come and take it down for free in exchange for the wood beams. After saving as many plants and trees as possible, the diggers came in. And here's how it looks now. We created some structure with a central lawn and gravel walkways. We added fruit trees to bring some height and made functional spaces by creating a shaded dining area, a covered seating area, and a nice spot to take a morning coffee in the sun. We later brought life to a dull corner by adding this solid granite koi carp basin. And you can watch the koi pond build video here. I also clad this ugly outbuilding. We renovated all the shutters, sandblasted the facades, and the glass veranda and the front courtyard also got a major facelift. Inside, we started with our part of the house first. The redecoration went room by room, gently modernising and keeping as much charm as possible, updating the electrics and changing windows as we went along. I used the same colour scheme throughout the entire house, little greens, slate lime. It comes in 3 tones. The lightest would become the main wall colour, and the mid and the dark shades would lift the woodwork, which had largely been stained dark. The kitchen was a 1960s gem. And we replaced it with custom solid wood units that complemented the details of the original doors in the house. The pink and gold bathroom got a simple modern overhaul. And the remaining 3 rooms on this floor we've used as a home office and 2 bedrooms. It was time to create our first rental apartment on the ground floor. The smaller room was divided into a kitchenette and a shower room. The beams in the main room were plastered and painted to bring in more light, along with new, fresher flooring. Plasterboarding the bottom half of the walls allowed for the electrics to all be hidden away. We started renting this space in June of 2018, and straight away it was fully booked. The much needed income was reinvested in the upper floors, which had always been 2 apartments with a separate entrance. Both needed new kitchens and bathrooms, rewiring, windows and flooring. One of them had been lived in by an animal hoarder, and the clay tiled floors and walls had absorbed the terrible smell. So they all had to be stripped back and replaced before I could create this fresh and dreamy boudoir ambience. The second apartment was smaller, so I went with a cosy forest theme, which our clients really connected with, and it often got booked up first. The entrance stairs and hallway also got a makeover. And as well as upgrading the heating and hot water systems, I also made a laundry space to accommodate all the bed sheets and washing that comes with any Airbnb business. The outbuildings at the back of the garden were originally 3 garages. We found that our Airbnb guests really wanted secure parking, so we knocked through 2 of the garages and added an electric car charging point. I also had big plans for the attic space, which could have become another apartment, as could the space above the garages. But by the time the house was full of Airbnb guests, particularly in the summer with a shared garden, we found that we really needed to have a space for us to get away to whilst the house and garden were being enjoyed by our guests. After quite a while looking, I found this tiny off-grid cabin for sale, which I bought and renovated. It became our summer sanctuary. You can watch the start to finish cabin build video here. And as for the big announcement, well, it's been 8 years since we started the journey of bringing life back to this gorgeous home. We've hosted hundreds of guests from all over the world who've enjoyed the authentic French house experience. Last year we decided it was time to move to a new creative phase of our life. This summer we put the house up for sale and will soon be moving out and handing the keys to the new owner, who plans to use it as a private residence. In my next video I'll explain why we decided to sell, where we're moving to, and reveal our next exciting project. This was our 3rd French house renovation. I'll be sharing 2 other past projects in the coming months, as well as starting on our new project. So if you enjoy renovation videos, please subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when the next video is up. Rural France is full of affordable and gorgeous homes that need new life breathing into them. If you're dreaming of a change of lifestyle or renovating in a new country, I hope this video has inspired you to go for it. I'd love to hear about your past and future projects, so tell me more in the comments. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video.